Capitalism, my love story. I remembered it all as if it all had been a nightmare. The nurse with the blonde hair, I remembered how shocked I stood there. Having went and had done all the errands listed there, to be told on that date, life was not structured fair. Struck ill with something that might take my air, listening to this blonde hair. My needs and my money supply did not fare. I could not afford the care, even though I worked in the healthcare. Left to find the money to pair, or to wait till I may need ER for air. Capitalism to me did not echo a love story that was morally fair. I loved working and being busy and earning my share. I intended to pay through a monthly fare. Struck so hard by this blonde hair who told me that life was not fair. Drove me down a path of despair. I later learned that life was on a monthly structured fare. And no one is safe as its private clients stationed there. Because that kind of program in its DNA produces constantly this kind of flair. This was my poem written in January 9th, 2012. This is one of the motivations that I had for creating my website, You Rule Your World. And this part actually is the heart of one of the pages called The Actual World, where it talks about the heart of society and how everything is structured around money, and money gives circulates everything else. Everything else in society circulates around money. And that situation where I had became sick, very ill, I was just vomiting all over the place. Food could not stay in my stomach, and my stomach had blown up. It looked like it was just, I was dealing with a situation where I couldn't even work. I was extremely sick, and I needed to find out what it was that was making me so ill. And there was a procedure that I needed to have done. And I had went to a hospital and had seen a specialist, and they had given me a booklet of things that they needed me to do. So many errands that I had to prepare for this procedure. And they had given me a contact information of a company to call about for insurance, about how to pay the bill. But they never told me how much I had to pay, this and that. We never went and we hadn't talked about the payments or anything like that. And I was very sick. There was so much to do. So eventually, all my focus had went into preparing for this procedure. And all the information that was being sent to me was about the procedure and what to do. Am I doing everything I was supposed to do? Blah, 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 whatever. So on the date of the procedure, I thought that I thought that after the procedure, I would have to go to the billing department or whatever, or pay the copay, or have them send me the bill through the mail, stuff like that. The portion of the billing the money and stuff like that was not my focus. My focus had been, I knew that I would take responsibility and pay for it through a monthly fee. So I wasn't even thinking about that. Just like everybody else that was calling me and sending me information we were off just focusing on finding out what it was that was making me sick, and trying to get me better. Everything was fine until that day, and I had already talked to the specialist who was going to do the procedure, talked to the nurses, and my gowns and everything was ready for me to get it done. And then all of a sudden, I was told to go downstairs to the billing department before the procedure. So I went, and all of a sudden, this angry blonde-haired dead woman who was angry at me and who was asking a high amount of money that she wanted me to pay right away before getting this procedure done. And if I didn't pay it, I wouldn't be able to get the procedure done. When everything else was already ready for me to get the procedure, I had already did all these detoxing type of treatment. I had already did everything. Starved myself, everything. So I was really ready, and I was really prepared. This was the date. I was going to find out what was wrong with me and be able to head towards recovery, be able to solve this problem. And then this angry lady that was blocking my way to towards health, blocking my way towards a solution. And all her frustrations was about money. The last thing I was thinking about, my health was more important to me than anything. And this woman was in my way of being able to be healthy again and able to go back to work, all because she wanted a certain amount of money right away, or else I wouldn't be able to do it. That to me was extreme, because I looked at her and I saw how angry she was. I was sick, and to me, I felt like I was dying, and this woman was going to allow me to die because she wanted this amount of money right away that I did not have. And more than anything, that was a blow to me. Like, she was saying that my life was not worth it, that money was worth more than my life. That was how I had interpreted inside, and it was a deep blow. And even though I did have the surgery, I did get the procedure done, the situation of having that that situation left a deep scar in me, that I had to find out, why couldn't I just get the procedure done? I needed it. Why is money so important than my life or anybody's life? I mean, thank God it wasn't a situation, it wasn't a condition that was so severe, I mean, it was severe, and it has the possibility of really, I could have died from it if it continued to progress. It could have killed me. And knowing that, and having been told by the doctors what could have happened to me, made me even more angry, not at the woman, but at what had made this woman think that money was more important than my life, that she had to stood by this system, she had to stood by this idea. I wanted to know what that idea was. Why was it part of society? Why, who and what, all these questions about the system. What was it, that made anybody or anything think that it's morally correct to approach anybody in that manner, in that way, and to degrade people in such a way, and a sick person too. It was beyond me. So I had to do my research. And so this, all this talk is about my motivation for creating the website. I mean, my website was, for the most part, I had wanted to create it for my family. I had lived a sheltered life. I didn't understand things. And I wanted to understand society because so many things seemed weird to me. I didn't understand many things, and I wanted to understand things. I wanted to be on my own, do things, and so things that I learned about the society, how things work, blah, blah, blah. I didn't learn about money, how important, how powerful that was. I didn't know that. So 2011, when I had learned about that, my website was good. It talked about alcohol, drugs, and stuff like that. But that situation where my life was on the line, that really pushed me to dig deep and to make it even more personal, to make it even more of, it was a public statement. It was about my life. I wanted to say that, so when I talk about advocating for tolerance and justice and all that, and for a better world, I was not kidding. I really I still do want a better society and a better system that values people, that would have valued me, that I wouldn't have to have been violated in that way. And thank God, it's not a situation that I've had to deal with again, but it was just such an awakening. It was such a deep violation. And I really dig deep. I researched a lot, and I really worked real hard on that website. And it was my way of gaining back a little bit of my sister says dignity, but it was a way of gaining something back that I had lost that day when I was standing there and watching this woman so angry at me wanting to live, wanting to get a procedure done to help myself. So this website, it does have some rage in it, some rawness to it. And it doesn't come from hate. It comes from wanting better. It comes from, and thank God. And this video, I'm doing it twice again, but I have to say it again. Thank God for my church. Thank God for Spirit of Faith, which is now called Alive Church, because the deep moral drive that I had, like something was wrong with this system. Something was deeply wrong, and my life is worth it. Stuff like that. I had came across my church who had that philosophy, who had that in them, like, you are welcome. When they used to sing, you are welcome here to Spirit of, and stuff like that. And then the pastor would talk about how, you're valuable, you're this, you're that. And it really, I needed to hear that. I really did. I needed to have something in society to have that moral character, that the world system, or how things were running, how the heart of society was dealing with money and not people. Money was first, then people. People was underneath it. I just needed hope in society. I needed that. And the church had it, where, I came to church. I sat there for a while. I just wanted to know, did I have to give money? Was it required? No, it wasn't. They wanted you here. They took care of you. They did everything. And they loved you. And you didn't even have to give a penny. They were nice to you. They didn't. My life was worth more to them than what I had in my pocket. And I needed to know that. I needed to hear it, and I needed to see it. And for some people out there who might face this kind of hurt, and who doesn't have a church, or haven't come across a person who has a deep moral sense of humanity left in them, who think like, you gotta be a wolf, be a wolf among sheeps and whatever not, and deal with capitalism and deal with the world system and become cruel and mean and stuff like that. I've come across a lot of mean people, and I'm always surprised. I don't know why, but I'm always surprised when I do encounter such situations like that. My sister says because I don't accept it. And yeah, I don't think I don't think I ever want to accept something like that. You know, we create money. Why would I create something and then say, hey, you see this product? It's more than you. It's better than you. And I'd rather you die than throw this product away in the garbage way, which I can make another one, but I refuse to. It's worth more than you, which is irrational. So irrational. And that really fueled me to see so many things in society, so many things that's going wrong, and you know, that could be better. And so much violations, and you sometimes I feel like no one can really understand stuff like that unless you have been violated or you have come across it. It's terrible. And that's why I really am passionate about politics, because so many injustices are so irrational. I don't understand why people do things that they do to hurt other people. It makes no sense to me. And thank God for Spirit of Faith, Alive Church, because I'm growing tougher and to be able to deal with situations like that, because I wasn't able to process it. It took a long time before I could process that this is what exists in society, and this is how some people function, and they think it's right, you know. And I'm going to be dealing with a whole, you know, in my lifetime. I'm still learning this. This is something that I'm learning now still, and this is one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about going to church, and I'm so passionate about my pastors and stuff like that, because so many small basic things that I'm, you know, learning how, and I think that it's basic and it's small and whatever not, but I've learned that you could be in your 50s, your 60s, and you still don't know how to be a mature human being, you know, to deal with negatives and stuff like that, you know. And people, even grown-ups, you know, grown adults, still act like children, still behave like children, still process things like children. And just the systems in society still operate like children, not mature, not in love, but more into the realms of hate. And I think that's very depressing. And it could be better, because we have the power to make things better, to be better. Why would we choose things that go against ourselves as human beings, or our fellow human beings? And my parents really didn't want me to come across stuff like that. They really wanted to shelter me and to help me not to come across these things. Like even now, you know, my dad was like, not so long ago, he was like, haven't you suffered enough? You know, they want us to come and live with them back home. And I do understand stuff like that now. You know, the world is cruel, but I have a deep hope that it shouldn't be, and that we allow it to be, but we can fix it. And I want to be part of that change. I want to be part of that movement that makes it more humane, that makes it more fair, that makes it better. You know, nothing can be 100% fair. You know, nothing can be 100% perfect. But it could be at a level where it doesn't degrade the bejesus out of somebody. It doesn't degrade people to such a raw and extreme level. We don't have to live like this and have things like this in society. We don't have to be this cruel. And that's it. That was it.